anxious to step through the gate again, Major?
Yes, I am.
We all are.
Would you like us to bring back anything special?
No thanks.
Groceries, new outfit, flatware?
No, just yourselves in one piece, please. Dial it up. You safe.
Welcome to the Jumping Puddles podcast. Be sure to listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and or YouTube. And follow us at Jumping Puddles Podcast on Tumblr and Instagram. And Jumping Pud Pud on Twitter. With me are my fellow co-hosts, Tor, Ash, and Australian Sam.
Hey.
Hello.
Abby. Good evening.
Morning. No, wait.
Sorry. Good old them.
Time.
Salutations. Alright, I'll shut up now.
God.
Oh, we're off to a good start, aren't we?
Yes. This week we are watching The Eye.
Ooh. Oh wait, dun dun dun. Wait, which one?
Wait.
No, I have-
She's gonna do the intro and then we do dun dun dun.
Oh!
No!
I'm still collecting myself.
Okay, forget the dun dun dun. Keep going.
While Major John Shepard, who evaded capture from Commander Augustus Collier, tries to take back Atlantis, Dr. Rodney McKay and Dr. Elizabeth Weir try to repair the grounding station to protect them from the massive storm that is zeroing in on the city. From the mainland, Dr. Carson Beckett, Teyla Amagan, and Lieutenant Aidan Ford risk their lives to get to the city through the storm.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun. Oh god.
There we go.
Yay!
Woo.
Wow, there is a lot.
Mid-season two-parter. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Such a good episode. Oh my gosh.
So much fun moments. Where to even start? I don't even know.
I know.
Let's start at one of my favorite parts, actually. Just jump right in here. Rodney saying him and Elizabeth are a package deal and stepping in front of a gun for her. My brave little toaster.
Oh. Yeah, he's doing so good. It was so adorable of him to do that, to protect her. And also we see a little bit of Rodney management, Elizabeth style.
Hell yeah.
When he just keeps going on and on about saying that they need to stay alive, they can't kill them, they are, as you said, a package deal and everything. And she just goes, Rodney, he gets it. It's okay. Breathe.
Aww.
I was just gonna say, this is like, I feel like this is the first time we kind of see a different side to Rodney. This is the first time we see him step out of his little selfish circle there and actually, put himself on the line for someone else. And I feel like this is a really kind of huge turning point for him.
Oh yeah, like the way he stepped in front of the gun without hesitation, and only after did he realize, like, oh shit, I'm standing in front of a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love the selflessness. Like, he's really growing to be a part of the team and, like, see everyone as a family. And vice versa, like, Elizabeth does her own sort of protecting of Rodney in the episode as well. Like, it's like split second, 5 seconds clip. It fed me.
Yeah.
Her having her hand on his back, like when he stood in front of her, in front of the gun, like that was so, like, grounding him in that moment. Like, that was a lot for me. And then when he's getting screamed in the face and hung over a balcony by Kolya, and she grabs Kolya like she thinks she can do anything to stop him from throwing him off the balcony. But also, when he's okay after, like, putting her chin on his back, when he was safe, like, all that kind of, like, the small little moments are really powerful. And
So cute.
yeah, it just speaks to their very quiet but beautiful relationship.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because I don't see Rodney as being a very physical or touchy person, and allowing Elizabeth to touch him, to reassure him, or to ground him like that. I think that speaks like so much to their relationship.
Oh, yes, totally. And him even initiating contact too, like when they're in the rain and he puts his arm around her because it's probably fucking freezing.
Oh, yeah.
Like that itself. Oh, yeah, I love them.
The cover besties.
Yes, they're so cute. And it really does seem like Rodney brings out or Elizabeth brings out like a super soft side of Rodney that we don't usually get to see. And she does it in such like a natural way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it kind of circles back to the concept of how much Rodney actually respects Leah as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like it kind of comes to full circle about like, you know, how he's like willing to let her comfort him and things like that. It kind of ties in with him having so much respect for her, and then just like, so it feels like natural to him.
100%. 100,000,000%.
Yep.
Australian Sam got it on the mark.
Mm-hmm.
They are platonic besties, and I just want so much more content for them. Like, I need more fics about them, just like hanging out and like just like their relationship in general.
Speaking of standing in the rain and freezing, right in the beginning, when we cut back to John standing in the rain already, and he still thinks that Elizabeth is dead, and he's just standing there mourning and vowing to kill Kolya like the emo boy he is. I don't know, it was just... He could have gone back inside, but he decided to stay outside and get soaking wet.
Thank you for saying it was an emo boy moment, because it totally was.
It was.
It really was.
It was the hottest John Shepherd emo boy moment to date. Just the line alone, like, I am going to kill you line, was so good. Because I feel like it speaks volumes about, you know, John's character, his moral character. Like, he will fuck you up if you hurt his family. He doesn't care. And we see that in this episode big time, and I love that side of him. I love how he is so casual and collected in everyday life, and then as soon as something happens, it's like the switch flips, and
you just see him like ruthlessly cutting down every single person that gets in his path, like, like on his way back to rescue them. And it's like, yeah, as you said, it says so much for his moral character, because usually he's like really calm and collected and, you know, pretty neutral in terms of how he should be treating enemies. But for this, he's like, nah, fuck that. They killed my family. It's like, nah. And he fucking C4 over the place. And it's just insane. Cannot agree with you more, Tor.
Yeah, it's so good. It's spicy.
And he's killed about 60 people in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
If you count the people that ran into the Stargate shield.
Which was actually horrific.
60?
Yeah.
What?
Because, I mean, he takes down the Genii that came through the gate, and then, he raises the shield, so that whole backup can't come through, and there were about 60 people, and only 5 got through. So in a way, he's responsible for their deaths.
Ooh, and just hearing like their
Mega.
thudding against the gate shield was so it was gnarly. That was cold
And
blooded.
just like the life sign signals on the little Game Boy, the shift Game Boy, how it kind of like slowly, like the dots just started disappearing as he was like cutting through them. Ooh, I got the chills.
I was gonna say, should we keep like a John Shepard kill count?
Oh my
For
god!
this episode.
Yeah, we should. I
Just
feel
for
like
the series, because like holy shit, just in one episode he killed 60 people. Like,
Damn.
I'm sure his kill count must be insane by the season 5.
Don't fuck with John Shepard.
Moral
Or
of
his
the story.
family.
But yeah, it's family.
Also, yeah, I'm just gonna say it just because I need to say it, and then we can move on. He looked really good this episode. Anyways, I'm embarrassed, but he looked really good.
Murder John
Something
can like
about him being
get
all
it.
protective was just kind of.
Oh yeah. This is my corner, okay? I can agree with you 100% here. This is the shit that I love. This is the shit that I'm here for. I totally get it. Oh my goodness.
This is the good shit.
Okay, wait. Speaking of John and just like sneaking around and just murdering people, that one scene where he's just like hanging from the rafters, like on top of them as he like shoots them, I was like, bro, John is Batman.
He straight up was in this episode. Like the emo boy Robert Pattinson Batman, I can see it.
100%. 100%. He's
And John
fucking,
Wayne
he's into
over
like
here.
Linkin Park. Oh, sorry.
Just What I've Done is playing in the background.
he's got his 2000s emo boy mix on like a tape, and he just has his AirPods plugged in or shit, and he's just like jamming out while he's running through the bass.
And there's emphasis on his sweatband as he's like, and there's like the camera shots on his sweatband as he's like vaulting through the through Atlantis. I'm in fan art of this now.
Oh yes, please somebody draw this so we can visualize it.
Please.
I was just saying something stupid. I was just saying that that's Batman's origin story right there, because you know John Wayne, isn't that Bruce Wayne's dad's name? Like,
Yeah.
is it?
Oh
So,
my
yeah.
gosh.
Origin story confirmed.
We've connected the dots. I was just gonna say, I'm sure Joe had like the most fun filming these episodes.
Hell yeah.
Because he just gets to run around and like pretend to shoot people. Yeah. And he didn't have to like deal with the rain either. Like he wasn't in the rain for too
Oh,
long.
yeah.
I feel bad for David and Tori because they were just stuck in the
Oh,
rain
yeah.
screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just saying I hope they had lots of tea after.
Apparently, David Hewlett got a bottle of champagne.
Oh,
I
Dang.
hope Tori
As
got
he
one
should.
too, because
yeah, they were
I
both
thought I'd
standing
be
out there.
angry. But yeah, no, I heard it from David. Yeah, about those scenes where John is just running around in the city. They were actually added later because the episode was a bit short.
Oh.
So yeah, a lot of those scenes was just running through the corridors. Yeah, and I think they were all shot in 1 or 2 corridors and in the gate room, and they just dropped the gate into the ground to make it seem like a different room.
Oh.
That's so creative.
Damn, now I want to watch it again to see if I can notice what room is the gate room.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I will say that John certainly lived up to his John action man, hero, movie man namesake. He was very John McClane in this episode.
Yes. Yes.
Extremely diehard.
Needed his white singlet and no shoes, and he'd be there.
Mm-hmm. That's one thing about this episode that was really interesting. He didn't really get hurt at all. Like, there was no...
I know.
No one got a shot off. No one, like, punched him in the face. Like, he was fine. That would have... I think it would have elevated it, this episode. That's the only thing this episode needed. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Bruise on his face somewhere.
But I guess the fact that he wasn't hurt sort of makes him more psycho. Because he just killed these people with, like, not a scratch to show for it.
Yeah, so you can actually see what he's actually capable of rather than like, oh shit, he's actually a fucking psychopath. So,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say psychopath, but yeah.
A lean,
I
mean,
think
killing
it would help
machine.
to make him... I just think it's funny because then it makes like the Janai look so stupid. Because
It
like they
does.
can't handle one human man, and they wanted to take down the entire wraith. Like, are you kidding me?
I legit wrote down the Janai are not very bright, are they? On several occasions, I was like, what's going on with them? Like in a scene where they track John and 2 or 3 of their men, and they can't see him because of the smoke and everything. And it's like, why wouldn't you look up? Like, aren't you going to check the whole room? If I don't know. And then later, when the shield is raised and they see John, and Sora's like, get him! And she doesn't have a weapon, and the others aren't shooting either, and he's just, I don't know, running away. I was like, what's going on with them? Are they not on guard or something? It's so weird.
It's because Kolya, the fruit, trained them.
He's too busy focused on his Lululemon fashion choices. He forgot to.
Yeah,
forgot
he
to
was
brief
like-
the team on tactics on how to take.
He was too busy planning his interior design. He was like, "You guys can handle like the gun stuff, right?"
All right, he only trained them with sticks.
Yeah.
Fucking dumb. Pretty weak adversary for John Shepherd. I think he deserves someone a little bit more intelligent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he deserved a more complex adversary, in my opinion.
No, I agree. Someone, like, really maniacal.
Yeah, and someone with like brains. No offense. John is such a smart guy. They make a point to be every like episode. They're like, "Oh yeah, look at him! Like John's like secretly super smart," and they just give him like a action, like a super villain that's from like the 90s. Like,
Kolya
give us
bashing
like
continued.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
like we need someone like Brainiac, like from Smallville. Like there's just someone more like intellectually evil.
Yeah, because throwing fire and ammunition at this problem is not working, Kolya. We need to put some brain cells behind this operation.
I just feel like the Janai were such good, like one-off, like villains before this two-parter. Like when they had what's his name? The guy from
Colin?
Star Trek leading them. Yeah.
Colin?
Yeah. When they had them leading them, like the Janai were like on top of it. They were like mischievous, evil, like that one, like underground. They were so good. And then they put Kolya in charge here, and they are idiots.
But the fact that they were so human and so... I don't want to say weak, but like... weak. Made it so one-sided of like a fight. Like, I know that they were holding Weir and Rodney hostage, so there was that motivation. But like, oof.
But the thing is, what I found a bit weird is at some point Kolya reveals to John that Elizabeth is not dead, and then he threatens to kill her again, and also Rodney. So he has like this one scheme, and he's trying it again, even though it didn't work the first time. So what's his deal?
Yeah, and even John is like, "Oh, you're gonna kill her again?" Like,
Yes.
for a second time.
Sure you will, bitch. There's not many acts going on upstairs for Collier, I think. Quiet up there.
Something I also found super interesting was Elizabeth being super cool about John murdering all these people. Because I think Kolya was like, he was on the phone or on the radio with Sora, and Sora was like, oh, like, he's killing all these people. And then Elizabeth turns to Rodney, and she's like, oh, you know, like, we just need to buy him more time to kill the rest of the people. And I was like, like, I know.
She seemed so proud of him.
Right? Like, I get that they're trying to take Atlantis, so, like, you know, not cool guys, but also I was kind of surprised that she jumped straight to, you know, let's just kill them all. But I guess that was the only option.
I was just gonna say, like, I feel like it's super easy to make that kind of call, you know, just kill them all. I mean, like, who's gonna put them on trial, you know? Like, who's gonna charge them with murder? So, you know, Elizabeth's like, fuck it, just kill them all. I don't care.
She just wants to get out of the rain.
Yeah, she's just done. She's cold, she's tired.
It's so fascinating to me. Like, seeing how, especially civilized people like Elizabeth operate in a kind of almost essentially lawless society. Fascinating to me. It's kind of like all the moral obligations kind of goes out the window. You know, your home's kind of threatened. So I just thought that was interesting.
100%. Great point.
Yes.
Australian Sam.
Thank you.
Like, I keep plugging the names. Yes. Very good day to you, sir. I'm watching Bridgerton right now. It's coming out. Okay.
Oh, God.
Anyways, side note, Bridgerton makes Shep you? We need to talk about that.
Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Teyla Biss, Bridgerton. Okay, sorry. Sidetrack. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Breathe. So many thoughts. I also just feel like Elizabeth was so, like, out of it almost. You know, at the end, skipping to the end, there's that great scene with her and John where John just, like, rushes up to her after, like, shooting Kolya in the shoulder, and he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she's just like, what? And he's like, are you okay? And she's like, no. Like, I just feel like she was so out of it after that point. Like, I would not be surprised if, like, it just went one ear and out the other, that he was just out there murdering people. She was just, like, just in shock.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, she was threatened at gunpoint. Her friend was getting tortured for information. She was out in the rain for, like, not even rain, it was torrential, like, hurricane rainwater for, like, who knows how long. So, yeah, definitely not her best day. But she came out on top. That's the important thing.
I think it would have been super interesting, though, again, if just Atlantis had done this more, but especially after this episode, it would have been nice to see kind of, like, their afterthoughts, you know, maybe just after maybe Elizabeth just being a little more wary to, like, go out and, like, find new allies, or just being a little more cautious, like, inputting more protocols or something like that.
Getting therapy.
Yeah. Going to see Heitmeyer.
Just to show that they had all been affected. Yeah,
continuing story threads. Something that we lack in the show sometimes. Speaking of which, Sora. So, at the end of the episode, she's somehow in the gate room with them all. being protected by the shield or whatever. And then John asks Elizabeth, like, oh, what are you going to do with her? And then Elizabeth was like, I don't know. I guess we'll keep her in the brig. And we never saw her again.
Yeah, that's weird.
Really?
Really? We never saw her ever again.
Apparently, there was a plan to bring her back in one episode a bit later. I'm not sure which one, and if the scene was shot, it was later cut. So yeah, we never see her again. We don't know what happens to her.
I see.
It kind of would have been a bit better for her character if they had if they keep her in the brief, but if something happened to Atlantis and she kind of broke out and that was happening and then wreaked havoc from the inside, and because she's been in the brief the whole time, she's going a little insane and comes out and starts wrecking. I mean, that would have made her character more interesting.
That would have been cool. Because as a villain goes, or an adversary for Teyla at this point, she's not even a blip on Teyla's radar. Teyla
No.
Right? And we saw that in this episode. So for her to, go a little unhinged or have a little bit more motivation to be scary.
She's like a fucking ankle biter, Teyla, really.
Okay, we need to talk about the fight.
Yes, let's do it.
Oh boy.
I don't really know what to say except that I love it. I just love Teyla kicking her ass like that. It's just perfect. It's so amazing to see Teyla fight, to see her arms. I'm sorry for focusing so much on that, but oh my gosh, look at her go. Oh. And then
I'm praying on the knees emoji right now when I see Teyla's arms.
Hell yeah.
I know, it's just oof. And then I just love that side of her. I think she knows what's going on in Sora, and she knows that she's not getting out of the situation without a fight, and she is fighting her, but she's also telling Sora that she doesn't stand a chance. But Sora, being that, I don't know, girl that she is, just has to try and has to get it all out. Yeah. Also, the last part where Teyla has the knife. I think it's Sora's knife at that point, at Sora's throat, and then she slams it down, and it's just this scene. I don't know. I love it.
Oh, that was power play right there. I had chills when that happened. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. She's so fucking angry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing.
It was great. It was look how easy it would be for me to kill you. Look at me not doing it deliberately. And it was just great. It was amazing. And I think, letting her live like that was even more of a power move because her pride was hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Shattered.
So, Teyla's the best and does not get enough recognition for all of her fight scenes. Because they are all the best.
Yes.
So true. She's honestly the best fighter in the franchise. And she has the best fighting scenes in the franchise. But she's so overlooked for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, we know why.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Go ahead, Ash.
Oh, thank you. No, just something that I got from audio commentary is that when they started fighting, the guys... Oh, I forgot who did the audio commentary. I think it was Martin Wood and... I forgot the other one. And David Hewlett. And one of them said, ooh, cat fight. And I was like, what? Are you fucking kidding me? No, that's not okay. And I was so pissed at them for saying, ooh, cat fight. And then one of them mentioned, is it okay to say? No, it's probably inappropriate. And I was like, yes, it is. Thank you. And yeah.
That was not a cat fight. Did you see that fight? I don't know what cat fights you've seen with knives.
Yeah.
I know. Exactly.
derogatory
And
name, honestly.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, exactly. So, but I was pissed that they mentioned it, but I was glad that someone picked it up and said that it's not okay to say that and inappropriate. Yeah, and Teyla, I'm not sure if Teyla did all the fighting, if Rachel did all the fighting herself in this or in general, but I know that she got a lot of fight training and did a lot of it like on her own. Like she didn't get paid for it, but she did it like on her own time to become the best fighter.
Fucking respect.
Hell yeah, that's
Yes.
awesome.
Go Rachel.
Yeah.
We love you here, Queen.
Yes. That dedication to character and like wanting to feel and embody like the movements of a fighter, like that is so cool. I love that.
100%. And I was gonna say, I do feel like after season 1, though, I feel like they didn't give Teyla as many fighting scenes, like, against enemies. Like, usually, like, she's, like, in the practice room, like,
Mhm.
sparring against, like, Ronan or John. It's, like, not serious. And I feel like after season 1, they stopped giving her those, like, serious fight scenes, which kind of pisses me off.
True.
They had to nerf her because she was too cool and too good, and she would just kill all the evil people too fast.
Yeah, but it makes no sense, too, because it's not like there's, like, any, like, other hand-to-hand combat, really, like, person on the team. Like, John and Ronan are very much, like, gun-focused. So I don't know, it's just weird that, like, after season 1, I feel like they just toned down on that aspect. But yeah, it was probably because she was too fucking cool.
She was too powerful.
I want to go back a bit to what American Sam mentioned earlier, the scene where Elizabeth gets almost dragged through the Stargate. This scene always gets me. I think one of the reasons is because okay, this is a bit more personal, but that photo of her being held by Kolya in front of the Stargate was the first ever post I did on Instagram for my fan page, which is still running. And which is basically the reason why I became such a huge fan, I guess, and why I'm so deep into the fandom. Yeah.
Amazing! Oh.
Yeah, and after John shoots Kolya and goes up to her and asks like if she's okay, saying no, for her to say no is so incredible to me because it's not normal to say no if you're asked if you're okay. Or I feel like a lot of people just say, yeah, I'm fine, especially in a situation like that. And just her saying no, it's what you already said, American Sam, is that she's just so shocked and out of it. And, sorry, I'm almost finished. After that, he grabs her hand and they start running towards the stairs, and that's so cute.
Yeah, I love that scene is great. It's an amazing scene. The shot, like the way it looks even, is really good. Like you said, I love her honesty and how she's feeling, whether it was voluntary or not. I think that vulnerability is nice to see, and we need to see that in our female characters. Like, I know we want to see strong women, but we want to see real women too, right? And if I was in that position...
Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
Iconic quoting
Claps! Claps for Tor! Holy shit!
Yeah.
That was good! Yeah!
Thanks, guys.
I love that.
I'm a little red now.
I
can't follow that. Might as well just end the episode right here.
But yeah, I just loved that line too, and I love John's response when she's like, no, and he said, you will be. Like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's very him to say that, I feel like. Like, the optimism, the keep chugging alongness of it, not one to, sit in the moment. It was great.
Yeah. He's like an expert at, hiding his feelings and trudging on. So,
Exactly.
He's like, here, I'll show you the way. This is how you forget about your feelings and move on.
Feeling repression therapy with John.
Oh God.
Unhealthy
I also
coping
like-
mechanisms 101.
That's amazing. I also like to think that like him saying in that moment like you will be is just kind of like a nice little nod to like also her strength. That, like he knows her so well by this point. He's like, no, he's like, you're gonna get through this. You'll be okay. Just so cute.
Hell yeah. Because he knows the strength of character you need to run that expedition and make the decisions she's been making. And he doesn't want her job, that's for sure. So, I liked also how it was kind of, they almost made it his responsibility that Elizabeth and Rodney were the ones that were being held hostage. Like, Kolya in the beginning of the episode being like, Shepard put you in this position to Elizabeth, and then Teyla questioning if Kolya would really kill them, like what would be the reason, and Shepard being like, he'd just kill them to punish me. Kind of the way his emotions, like his feelings for them, is being used against him, and how they're kind of transparent. Like, I love that part.
Oddly open Shepard to say something like that.
It's also kind of just interesting / funny that like John already knows how obsessed Kolya is with him.
Yeah.
Like they literally just met in this episode, right?
Yeah.
Last
The
episode,
funny
I
thing
think.
is, well, they didn't really meet, right? They never meet face to face.
Right.
Where's this
Oh
obsession coming from?
Yeah, like right off the gate, like
Yeah.
well, like a picture of John from like that they took in Underground and was like, that's the one.
That kind of gives a cool edge to their interactions, because they only know each other from their voice, and they can only gauge each other's like emotional reactions from the voice. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
And they both seem to understand each other so quickly. Like the fact that John can just say that, even though they've only, just been talking on the phone for like less than 20 minutes. And it's just been like Kolya threatening him. John's already like, yeah, no, he's going to kill them to punish me.
Yeah, you're so right. Like, he already knows how his mind works. Another John moment I really liked in this episode was the very end, where he asked Elizabeth, how far in advance can I book a day off? Because he doesn't want to work when the next storm hits. And I love that because it implies in his worldview that he's definitely going to be there on Atlantis 20 years from now. Or at least he wants to be.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. I got the exact same. I had the exact same thought.
Twins!
Wait, so has 20 years passed since that episode aired?
Ooh! No, I don't think
Oh.
so. I think only
No,
like
I don't think so.
17.
Still, that's a long time.
It is a long time.
That's so funny, though. I wonder if that's funny. I hope he took those days off.
I hope they do a
Oh, yeah,
callback.
for sure.
if they ever do New
That would be
Stargate.
so good. I was gonna say too, I love the use of colors in that scene as well. I love that like Rodney's always typically in blue, Elizabeth in red, and John in black, and how just all three of them are standing on the little balcony overlooking like their base, quote unquote, as the leaders, quote unquote, of Atlantis.
Oh, I love it!
Oh, is it?
So cute.
Yeah. Because she is civilian leader, he's military leader, and Rodney is science leader.
Yeah.
That's cute.
I love their
And-
triarchy, or their triumvirate, or however you say it in Latin.
Also, okay, I know Rodney is probably not. I don't know if he did like first aid or something, but who in the world puts a bandage over the fabric of your clothes?
So bad. It's so bad. And he totally has to throw out his jacket now because the blood was all over that jacket. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Like, did they do it on purpose, like on set, to be like, oh, Rodney is really bad at first aid, or did they just want it to be obvious that he had a wound on his arm, so like they had to wrap it outside of the of the jacket because he wasn't wearing a t-shirt?
Probably the second one, but I'm gonna pretend it's the first one. Okay, can we talk about something that bugged me?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, please
Spill the tea.
Well, it's just the Ford and the Carson dynamic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Elaborate.
I agree, actually.
It's just, it's so, I think, just scummy of the writers. Because so far they've given Ford literally zero to do. And all of a sudden, like, in his one moment where he could be, like, in command and, like, show his actual character, he's being, like, so rude to, like, you know, the quote-unquote nicest man on the show so far. Like, he's literally grabbing and manhandling Carson in the beginning. He tells Carson to shut up, like, 5 times.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's so unnecessary, and it just makes him come off as really unlikable.
Yeah, totally. He was really harsh, especially to Carson, and at the same time the writers made Carson appear extremely weak and whiny.
Yeah, it was a weird. I think it would bother me less if his character arc was explored more and he had more time on the show to like grow out of this sort of weird getting power hungry when John's away, quote unquote, thing that was happening. But because we never got that, because he's young, you know, and trying to prove himself, I'm sure, and so that's part of it, like the insecurity part. But then we never saw, like, it never went anywhere. So because it never went anywhere, it was just yucky, and I agree, it was not nice. It's
They
like
really did it dirty for Ford's character, didn't they?
Yeah, it was like a completely horrifying version of the Rodney and John show, to me. Where you have the military guy and you have, you know, the more of the nerdy or like bookish guy. And, you know, Rodney and John banter in a similar way, but it's less mean-spirited and more, you know, buck up, chin up kind of spirit of banter, and less like, shut up, you have personality problems, I don't like you very much, you know, dynamic that we had between Ford and Carson.
I think the key to like making the quote-unquote nerd and jock dynamic work, or at least like the banter, is just to make sure like that the nerd can fight back, and that's what was missing here. Because Rodney, if John says something stupid to Rodney, Rodney's gonna yell at him back. Like, more often than not, like, they're both, you know, like, fighting, and they're both saying things. It's not just so one-sided. It's kind of a, not to make everything about Star Trek, but it's sort of like a similar dynamic to, like, Spones, like Spock and Bones kind of thing, where, like, it works because they're both, like, biting at each other.
Yeah.
When you compare it to the Next Generation, where Dr. Pulaski and Data are like kind of having that similar dynamic, it doesn't work because Data can't fight back the same way. And so I feel like here, Carson also can't fight back in the same way against Ford. So it just makes this weird, unbalanced dynamic. Yeah, and it makes both of them look really shitty.
Yeah.
Yep. Speaking of Star Trek, we have this little Bones moment of Carson. I forgot what he said. But he says, he says, I'm a bloody medical doctor, not a magician. And it's a callback to Bones saying, I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer or whatever.
I love that.
That's so cute.
Really sassy of Carson.
Yeah. Also, it's so weird that in this dynamic between Carson and Ford, Teyla was also there, but she didn't have anything to say.
No, she was just very annoyed.
Wow.
She just was sending
she
them
wasn't-
looks the whole time, like, both of you, please shut up, you know?
Yeah. I feel like she was like, I think Carson sometimes was like looking at her like, Mom, do something, he's bullying me. But
Exactly that.
She never intervened, and it's weird if they put those three characters together. Why don't they do more with all three of them?
True. I would have appreciated like a scene at the end where finally Teyla is just like done and she tells them to both shut the fuck up. And she takes the lead instead.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have actually laughed if she was like, yeah, you two stay in the jumper. I'm going to take this Athosian girl who was happy enough to risk her life to help the people of Atlantis, even though they treated her really badly, on this mission, and you guys can stay here. How about that?
Tor, I love you.
Oh my gosh, I was gonna bring that up too. Thank God you brought that up. Why the fuck did they take Carson instead of that beautiful Athosian woman who wanted to risk her life?
Exactly.
She literally came pre-staff. She had a staff with her. Like, y'all did not have to stop by the armory. Y'all could have just gone straight to ass kicking. Like,
And they just handed Carson a gun.
Like, does he know how
Like,
to
here,
use it?
you can handle it, right? And he's like,
I feel like Carson would accidentally shoot himself if he was ever given a gun or shot someone else.
yeah, he would. Mhm. But he's a doctor, so he can take care of what he did.
True.
Speaking of Carson, there's a scene where he's knocked out by Sora, and then later when Teyla and Sora enter the gate room, he is still like, his nose is still bloody and everything. And I thought it was cool that they caught that, because I feel like this would be easy to overlook by makeup or in general the continuity, but in this case they got it right.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice detail. I like that.
reparations for the crew shaking the tree.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh. I'm just thinking of the video again, and it's so obvious. It's so funny.
I love Rodney checking in on Carson at the end there too, where he's like, Carson, and Carson's like, Rodney. That was cute.
That was so cute, yeah.
Yes, more moments like those. I feel like that really show like their hidden affection for each other and just like real friendship are just so precious.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be friends, guys. Like, let's see that more. You know?
Yeah, they like, yeah.
Not to be bitter, but we should have gotten a Teyla, Elizabeth moment like that.
Agreed.
Because Teyla is still, I mean, she's still a bit beaten up by Sora, so why did nobody worry about her?
Yeah, and Elizabeth in the episode before this was concerned about what Sora was going to do or try to do to Teyla. And she was trying to get her to not. So, like, I feel like she would still, in her mind, be like, oh, yeah. Like, you know. But, you know.
We would definitely robbed the scene here.
100%.
the writers fumble the bag when it comes to women's relationship with other women, so...
This is why we need women writers and POC writers in the writers' room. Joseph.
Yeah. Red.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
We're manifesting that now.
Mm-hmm.
Sending good vibes to the possible new show.
No, and I'll say it. I mean, if they don't have women or POC writers, not looking good, folks.
Yeah. Maybe for context for the later generation. A few days ago, Joe Malozzi tweeted an image of the title page, I guess, of a new Stargate show written by Brett Wright that might get picked up by Amazon for a new show. Oh my god. Oh, it would be so amazing. Also scary,
I only
but
hope. I only hope.
I think the last note that I have, I wrote down Layden enters his villain arc this episode. Because he's basically just second in command, and it's just going so horribly. And I think after this, he was like, you know what? Fuck Kolya, I can do a better job. And like, he just decided to take back the Janai.
Good for him, honestly.
This episode is his origin story.
Yeah. He's honestly not a bad leader. See what happens when you're not obsessed with another man?
Oh my god!
She said it! She said it! Oh, she said it.
You get shit done.
Oh.
Kolya was over there writing love notes and circling like hearts around John's face.
Oh
Too
my
busy to run his empire. Too busy planning like his next kidnapping.
You're not wrong.
He was like, ooh, okay, where can I see John again? He's like, oh, you got intel? They're gonna be on this planet? Don't worry, I'll be there. What were you saying, Sam?
Oh, no. I was just saying, I really want a fic of this now, or like a fan art or some shit of just Kolya obsessing over John and like his preparation for like meeting him again and shit. Like, oh my god, it's the funniest shit ever.
I'll write a travel. I promise you, I'll write a travel. When this episode comes out, I'll write something.
Fuck yeah, I'll be keeping an eye out for it. Oh yeah.
I'll let the spirit of Kolya possess me, or at least his Valley Girl version, so I can write the dialogue.
Oh man.
I am a Valley Girl. I speak California.
Oh my god!
This is your territory.
Yeah, this is literally my life.
Your area of expertise.
Anyways, I am out of notes, so go ahead. Anyone take the stage.
Yeah, I'm all out too.
I think the last thing I have is just like the only redeeming Ford moment in this episode. Which was, let's see, oh yes. The little friendship nod between Teyla and Ford, their little silent communication where Teyla kind of just looks at Ford worriedly in the jumper at the beginning of the episode, and Ford says, I hope they're okay too, referring to the rest of their team on Atlantis.
Aww.
Aww.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. And it was nice to see that little bit of him, you know, caring for his team, because of course he does, but it got a little overshadowed by his later behavior in the episode. And also just following that thread established in previous episodes of his and Teyla's sort of bond.
They have such like a, I mean, I feel like Teyla's such a mom to most of the people on Atlantis, But especially to like Ford and Rodney, I feel like she's so mom for them. So it's so cute to see like their little interactions and how just like naturally, because I feel like they haven't had like a super big like scene together where it's like, okay, we're gonna establish their friendship. No, it's just done through like subtle looks by the actors, I'm sure, because I don't think the writers put that much effort into their relationship.
Okay, should we move on to Bechdel test?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so this episode passes again.
Woo!
And that's now 6 out of
Ooh.
10 episodes that have passed so far.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
what? Not bad.
Actual high five, team.
Yeah.
Woo!
Honestly, again, for like a mid-2000 show, not bad.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, SGU.
Oh, cough.
Sorry, we haven't slandered SGU in a while, so that's almost happened. They had 3 women, and they still... Anyways.
Wait, 3?
Managed to fuck it up.
Oh, right.
Oh, like 3 main. I mean, they had like
Yeah.
like 5 or 6 sometimes, but 3 main ladies.
Yeah.
On that happy note, go ahead and take us to the behind the scenes.
So, behind the scenes, so we have Rainbow Sun Franks plays Lieutenant Aiden Ford read the previously on Stargate Atlantis line. I think it's nice that they kind of rotate that job, that everybody gets to do it. We learn that there are 5 Naquada generators that power Atlantis, and that each is responsible for a discrete section of the city. Just some background info there. Also, Ford mentions or makes a reference to an incident where SG-1 used the power of a lightning strike to power the Stargate, which occurred in the Stargate SG-1 episode, The Torment of Tantalus. It's interesting that he knows that, but he probably read all the mission.
Was he an SG-1 fanboy?
Maybe. I mean, do we know where he was before Atlantis?
It's implied that he had knowledge of the gate. So he might have been on a gate team before.
Maybe. Probably SG-19 or something.
Bye!
Maybe it's mandatory reading for applicants to read all the mission reports SG-1 wrote.
Learn from their mistakes.
Cam did it. And afterwards everyone was like, fuck, why'd you have to do that, Cam? Because now we have to do that too.
Yeah, as mentioned last episode, this episode and the previous resembles the movie Die Hard, where Shepard hunts down the enemy one by one in a closed building, just like John McClane. Oh yeah, then we have a recurring actor, Conan Graham, one of the new Genii soldiers. Previously played an NID man in Stargate SG-1 Season 2 episode Touchstone. And he also appears in Stargate Universe The Incursion Part 1 and 2 as part of the Illusion Alliance. That's kind of cool. Yeah, he's in all 3 shows.
Damn, 3 for 3.
Will he be in the next one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Both of us. 4 for 4.
Ooh. Yeah, as for goofs, we have the thing with the conversation taking place between 2 different technologies, with John and Kolya talking over Earth radio and Genii communicator. So there's a little bit of a mess up there. Then, although the episode starts immediately after the previous one ended, there's no sign of the 2 men Shepard killed when he leaves the grounding station. So,
Oops.
guess they just wandered off.
Oopsie.
And then also a little bit that I found interesting, and which takes out kind of the gravity of the situation, is that the thing with the tsunami, tsunamis hundreds of feet high usually do not occur in open water. In open water they usually just travel like really fast, but don't get that high, and only when they hit shallower water they grow. So yeah. And also tsunamis are usually generated by earthquakes or volcanic eruptions or something similar, and not by wind. Maybe there was an earthquake on the mainland.
Yeah, they wouldn't
Or
know
in the
about
water,
it because they don't communicate with the Athosians. Ooh.
Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. So
Ding.
yeah, that was a little bit. But anyways. Yeah, what else do I have? So all the scenes that were shot on the grounding station in the rain, the rain was actually real. They were actually pouring water on David Teyla, Tori Higginson, and Robert Davey, and they were soaking wet for hours and days.
Oh, no.
But from what I heard David Hewlett say, it was actually a lot of fun, and fun in a sense that he didn't have to act a lot because the situation was just that, and he could just play it. There was a little conversation in the audio commentary where one of the writers or directors said that lots of people think that McKay is sexy, and the other two immediately replied, "Not me."
Hey.
I thought it
He's
was
sexy as fuck. I'll be the first to say it.
In this episode
Thank you. I
especially.
follow that statement.
Wait, I was
out.
sorry. And then the first guy said, "Yeah, not women at least." And I thought it was really funny towards all the McShippers.
That's so.
Yeah.
I mean, of
Gorgeous
course.
to me.
Really?
Enter John Shepard.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, honestly, I have the biggest crush on Rodney.
Aww.
Yeah, same.
I try to hide it so hard
No, I think
because it's not even like I'm embarrassed or ashamed. It's just like I think he's so good with John, but I think he's so freaking cute. I'm like blushing, we're kicking my legs.
One of us.
No, I'm a John
One of us.
girl. No.
come to the
They
dark
got
side.
me. They got me.
They're a
Come to
package
the dark
deal,
side.
okay? They're a package deal.
Yeah.
They are a package deal. But also I just feel like Rodney would take care of me, whereas John would like be too. He's too. I need to fix him. Like he needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
So
John is a mess. Yeah, Rodney could take care of you. Also,
Really? Sorry.
This is wait, hold on. Really quick. Whenever David gets to play like an alternate universe Rodney, like can we talk about side note, just Vegas Rodney.
yep.
The woman was too stunned to speak. Holy
Yep.
shit. Vegas
I'm
Rodney
looking forward
makes
to watching this.
oh you haven't seen Vegas.
I don't forget I haven't seen it. But,
Holy anyways.
looking forward to it. Gwen?
Sorry, but Ash was like, what the fuck right now?
Yeah. No, do you?
Yeah, no, I love him. I think we all love him so much.
Smart is sexy. I'll be the first to say it.
So brave, yes. Are you stuck on the he would take good care of us, Ash?
Yeah.
What part are you stuck on? Okay.
Yeah, that part. Yeah. Because don't really see him taking care of someone. I don't know.
I think in his own way, he would just do really great at that. Like it's in like the subtle ways, like how his relationship with Elizabeth kind of works, where like he doesn't really like that physical touch, but he kind of like gravitates or like allows her to like comfort him in that way. And just like it's the little things with him, like the little things with John too, like the way he just notices these things about John. I just feel like he'd be really like, when he likes you, he'd show you that like sweet side, kind of like
Yeah,
in a shy way, but yeah.
That's what it is. Like, he has to like you. That's the problem. Like,
Okay.
Also, he would blow up a planet for you.
Fair.
Yep.
Anyways, we just got so off base.
There's one scene where we can see Elizabeth like shivering and stuff, and she wasn't acting. She was just actually freezing out there in the rain. Yeah. Oh, did I mention? I think we mentioned it in the last episode already, but in a scene pretty much in the beginning, we can see in the background a crew member shaking a plant against a window. And yeah, that's a little blooper, really funny, if you look for it. Yeah, and then a little something a bit spicy, maybe. David Hewlett. It sounded a bit like David Hewlett and Robert Davey didn't really get along, and they got really snappy at each other set because David didn't really get along with the way Robert, the guy who played Collier, behaved on set, and I think that's kind of funny.
That totally tracks, because I actually found out today that it wasn't today, it was like, I think it was in our Twitter group chat,
Yeah.
that he's like a right-wing nut. So it just
What?
makes sense.
Oh.
Like the actor, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Wait, Ash, where did you hear it? Did they say it on the audio commentary or like?
No, I actually went and listened to the Stargate live stream of David Hewlett and his son, who were rewatching a few episodes of Atlantis and kind of reacting and talking about it. And yeah, he mentioned that there. It's on YouTube.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Yeah, and also Robert at one point, in the scene where Collier threatens more or less to throw Rodney over the rail or like into the water, or he's just smashing him against the thing. He actually hurt David a bit, because he really slammed him into there, and David was like, "Hey, I can act. You can be a bit softer. You don't have to actually physically hurt me." Yeah.
Oh, damn. That is spicy.
This episode actually won an award. They won the Leo for for dramatic series best visual effects, and they were also nominated for best visual effects. Wait, again. Oh, they were nominated for the Gemini, for best visual effects, and nominated for the Leo for best picture editing.
Damn. I mean, I see why in terms of editing, because there was one scene where they were sort of switching back and forth between Rodney's explanation of his plan with the grounding rods to Shepard's explanation of the plan, and everyone's reaction to Shepard's explanation of the plan. I think the flow was really cool. So, yeah, I like that. I think that tracks.
Deserved. You make
Yeah.
I also can see the best visual effects. I mean, if you compare it with stuff that's done today, it probably doesn't hold up. But I mean, if you think about the fact that this episode aired 18 years ago, I think it's amazing and so well done. Yeah, I just love the waves and the wind and seeing the city under the storm. I thought it was amazing.
I agree. I loved it. I love the colors that they used too. They weren't afraid to go for like the bright stuff.
That's it. I'm done. Any closing comments? Anything?
I think just for me overall, I think it was a good little episode arc there. It was very interesting. I think I mentioned a little bit in the last episode how how they had to deal with like a natural like Mother Nature like enemy rather than like for this episode they have to deal with both, right? They have to deal with the weather, but also like the Janai as well. So I thought that was a really interesting mix of threats, very nail biting, if you will. I love like the fight scene Teyla gets into. Like I thought that was really powerful how it ended as well. I love the development of Rodney's character especially, and seeing John go crazy to save his fam. So overall, I really enjoyed it.
I think John went ham.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Yes. He went very ham.
Amazing use of the phrase.
Thanks. Kind of proud.
Yeah, I'll go. Yeah, I agree with Sam. Australian Sam. I love this episode. I think this is the best two-parter in the whole series. I think it's really cool that again it's a natural phenomenon, and then plus the whole siege on the base. John going ham, Elizabeth and Rodney moments. I do wish the Ford and Carson dynamic would have been a bit better, and maybe some more Teyla moments. But still, great episode.
Tor, do you want to go?
Oh, yeah, I agree with Sam².
Love it. Love it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love this episode for, like they were saying, I think there was great little character moments, subtle but there, and how everyone had a role to play in either rescuing the city, each other, or somebody else. And it's just great to see the team work as a unit and kick Janai ass.
Yes. Awesome. I can just agree. Also, the one thing I have to add is like I really love the cinematography in this one.
Ooh,
I
yes.
thought it had some amazing shots, and I already mentioned that I love the shot of the city. And yeah, the suspense, the Rodney Elizabeth, Teyla kicking ass. It's kind of a team episode, which is always so much more fun to watch. And yeah, just such a good episode.
Such a treat, as always.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I think that is it. I think we can all sign off. So thanks for listening. Tune back in next time to hear us talk about what the fuck are we talking about again?
The Defiant
one. The Defiant one. I knew that. I didn't have to look it up. Which is another great episode, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for this one.
We are on an amazing kick. There has not been a single bad episode, in my opinion, of Atlantis so far. And be on the lookout for our first special mini episode, which we're going to discuss the first half of the first season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Woo, party.
Send us all your comments and questions and hate mail. Tumblr, Instagram, and/or Twitter, and you can email us. We'll be chill.
We'll be chill.
We promise.
And then, of course, you can check out all of our links and everything in the description box. And then it has also all of our personal. So if you want to follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff is there. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next week.
All right, you clowns, listen up. I don't often get a chance to say this, so savor it. Good work, boys and girls. Now let's go home.